Hey guys, so I know I've been away for a little while just dealing with my own stuff here. It happens periodically. It's a thing I go through every few months or so. Those of you that have been following me, you know that every once in a while I'll go dark for a week or two and then I'll pop back up and come back to doing content. Well, that's where we're at now. We're popping back up. We're doing some content. A couple weeks ago, though, I had recorded something with the rest of my free-to-play challenge team, and we've been doing great, by the way. I do want to do a recap with those guys, come back, talk with them some as we're starting to get to the end of the challenge here. But we did this cool little collab, and I thought it was really nice and informative, and so I wanted to show it to you guys. Anyway, just know this was a couple weeks back, so things have obviously progressed since then. We've still been doing really good. I ended up coming in second in Ice Golems, but I just wanted to kind of showcase with you guys, let you know, see what we've been talking about. And I think usually with these collabs, it's as cool, the relevancy and, what's going on. But I think the information we're talking about, the camaraderie that we're showing, that's timeless. So I think you guys are still going to enjoy it. So here you go. Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. I have with me a couple of my free-to-play teammates here. We've got Samael, we've got Pogo Pink Tie. It's been a couple weeks, but I thought the Jedi Knights should get together and talk a little bit about the free-to-play, how we're doing, what we're doing. But I think we have to start it off, and of course, a rounding fashion with a round of applause for my man Samael, who came in first in our dragon competition among all the free-to-players.
Thank you.
Would you like to give any speeches? Yeah, please.
Yeah, I would like to thank my parents, my friends, and Melga, thanks to whom I managed to pass the 19th level, and that gave me the win.
Melga for the win. I love it. Yeah, excellent. Well, hey, I just want to say I thought that was awesome to be able to do that. Our team came in with a very clear strategy, very clear approach when it came to these challenges, and we're executing it. I don't think we're quite ready to reveal what that is yet, but Samael started us off. It's obviously working already because we got first place. So clearly we're already doing what we're supposed to be doing. I think Aang is doing spiders this week, and right now it's a little questionable who's doing Ice Golem. Probably going to be me because I'm first in that at the moment on the standings. But guys, how has this competition been going so far? I mean, we're over a month in. It's day 40 right now, at least for me and my account. How, what has been your feeling so far? How are you feeling about your account? Are you hitting that next stage of evolution? And what's that like for your teams?
So I've been really enjoying this competition, and it's been a month, but I still have the fire. I'm still not doing it every day, spending almost the same amount of time as on my main account. Just almost got the sixth star champion on my account, so doing good. So last week I was focusing on dragon, grinding a bit of gear, trying to get as far as I can. But this week I'm back to the grind, farming chickens and progressing.
That's really, yeah, six stars is a lot though. I'm not gonna lie, like that. Out of all the players on our team, Samael's been doing the best job of keeping pace with the leaderboard. I just made my fourth 6-star, and I was like, "Woohoo! I finally did it." Samael's going on number 6 now. So clearly, we have our leader, but he's given us our orders already. He came in first in Dragon, so now we have to follow that. But yeah, the grind is real, and it's showing though in your account, especially being able to get those 6 stars, being able to finish as high and as successfully as you are. That's really good. What about you, Pogo? How you been feeling so far?
We just been grinding, and to keep it up to date, we're about to wrap up the fusion, actually. So it's been fun pulling it off on a beginner free-to-play account, and making the math work. It's been fun. It's been a different side of the table. I'm loving it.
That's really impressive. I think that you're even able to do the fusion. I believe Hades did it. I think one other player in our competition was able to do it. I looked at it and I thought I was prepared. I was like, oh, I got this. I can do this. And then I looked at it and I did the math on the shards. I was like, nope, I'm out. I can't. But one of the things that you were able to do, which I wasn't, and this is just Like the point difference was too much, I think, even for me to overcome, no matter how dedicated I was. But you won your champion training tournament right off the bat. Got yourself an extra 10 fragments.
Yeah, we were able to win the champ training through everything into. See, I've been doing a timed release of like my 6 stars or my food. And I've been doing a different approach where I use the brews in the low end food only, not anywhere else, but 1 brew on a small, 2 on, and after that, just grinding, and it made up a lot of points. And then I time released each level up of a 6-star. We just got our 4th 6-star as well, like you, but I had to do it at the right time so I could get the right points. We also held out on getting our High Katoon. I held her off for the Champ Chase tournament. So I was able to get some good pulls with our Ancients, got lucky with some Epics, and actually got a Grush, which has evolved the account. Also got an Ugo, which has evolved the account. So now that we're getting through the fusion, I can start contributing towards my end of the team.
Well, I think this is actually, that leads us to a really good spot where, I think one of the things that I'm finding, maybe you guys can agree, but I'm finding, I've always said, not about the champions, it's about the gear that you put on them, right? And I'm definitely at the point where the champions matter. Like I am struggling because I'm like, oh wait, I just don't have some of the champions I need. So, maybe you guys can talk a little bit about, what that is. What are the pieces that you find you're missing or you need, or you just, or like key roles that you're just like, I think every team kind of needs this kind of thing. And maybe some of the key champions that you actually have already on your account, or some of the places that you're missing, but take that wherever you will. But yeah, talk about the champions and how important that is to what we're doing here. Pogo, why don't you start it off?
Yeah, I mean, I started out with just the starter and some rares for a while, and doing the time released opening of shards like I did kind of held us back from some of the dungeon work or things that we needed to progress the account. Getting to where we are now, and you know what? I did take a different approach with my artifacts. Normally, you would want to try and round out maybe a small set, like a shield set, just because you're trying to get through faction wars or something like that, right? I came into this with more of the mid to late game mentality of, if it don't have a speed substat, it's gone. And almost like the 3 stars went away immediately, and we just stayed with 4s, and almost all 4s are almost all gone now too. I just want speed substats, and my thing was, let's just activate the natural abilities of what I have, and just make them go fast as I can make them go. Not just one champ, because I have been in the top 10 for this fastest speed champ with the tournament, but it was about making sure he wasn't alone. I can't just have Deacon out there just being a beacon of speed and everyone else just slow behind him. So it was trying to spread that out, and I think that paid off. Now it's time to flesh the account out. Focusing on the fusion was exhausting. I think you could see it in HH's face too after he chased his. It's like, I'm already doing it on my main account, of course.
Yeah.
And then having to put in that extra grind, because there's no cheesy way out of it with the free to play. There's no just quick chicken or a barrel, which I did happen to have 1 or 2, but that's because I won some stuff. But you had to really just put the grind in. And I'm looking forward to just having some fun now with what I've got.
Well, then, like, taking it off that, I mean, I think that was all very valuable. But I did ask you about champions, and so I'm curious, as far as like the champions you have, which one? I had to call you out of that one.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I guess, one of the questions, I think that can specifically work with you is like, how do you envision this fusion fitting into your team? It's kind of a unique champion, right? She has some, I think, what's healing, revive, but also like some, turn meter reduction kind of aspects to her. Kind of an interesting champion, and not a typical one that won't work for everything. But, is she filling an important role for your team? Is there something, a gap that you feel like she's going to fill in? Or is it just about just get the best thing that's on the board,
It was about, at the time, okay, because I was only working with rares,
sure.
Her kit, to be able to bring that type of more support, because I didn't have too much going on then. Now that I have Grush and Ugo, it's like, ooh, all right. So I'm not sure where I'm going to make her fit in just yet. But at the time when I started the chase after her, that was the reason. Like, I needed that on the team. All we had was Kale, Deacon, and Rothalos. There's not a lot of glass cannons there. So we needed to try and find a way to keep them going without using like lifesteal everywhere. And yeah, she was the answer. And then we just got lucky on the way. We just got real lucky.
So is now that you have Grush, now that you have Ugo, I mean, I know you've got Deacon already, obviously of Rathalos. You know, that's a pretty solid foursome right there. What is it that you feel like your account does need to take the next step? I mean, is it simply better gear in levels, or is there like a champion that you would really love to have? Like, are you missing an ally protection type champion, or some kind of shielder or speed champion or something like that?
You know what? Yeah, it'll be the speed, and luckily we got it along with the Grush and Ugo was an apothecary. I love apothecary. I love that crit heal that he can do. I love that he's going to give everyone an increased speed and keep the team going. I think throwing him in the mix in some of my teams is going to help the supports keep everyone alive longer and let the glass cannons do what they got to do.
All right. I mean, it sounds like you got a pretty full team right now. It's more just about, you know, recovering from the fusion event and gearing them all up a little bit better. That's a great spot to be at, though. That's a really good spot to be at.
Yeah, fleshing out's a little bit better than scavenging. I'd rather flesh out.
Yeah. What about you, Samil? How you been? You know, where are you feeling with your account? I mean, you have one of the top accounts right now in this competition. You've been, you know, extremely successful with everything that you've been doing. But is there something that you feel like is missing, like a role or a champion that you're like, this is really what I would love to have right now?
Yeah, so I've been pretty lucky. I pulled Occult Brawler early, and then I got Royal Guard. So I have a lot of firepower. What I'm missing is support. Someone to keep those guys alive, because that was the biggest problem in Dragon. I didn't have anyone to keep my people survive. When I started getting hits, it was quickly all over. So that's why Melga was such an important champion. But she needs tons of books. That's the problem. With 7-turn cooldown on her revive.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, and she really loves to read. So that's a problem. But I would really like to get someone with ally protection or increased defense. That would be nice, because I'm working on Armiger, so he will give me nukes, he will give me turn meter control, but I really need someone to survive. Or someone like Miscreated Monster. I would love the shields.
Well, I mean, I have more than a few, as been well documented. I have an abundance of them.
Good video.
So, got two here. My reserve vault is just stupid. Is what it is.
Yeah,
nothing but Marukas and Miscreated Monsters. I'd love to give you one. I would. I'm not looking to hoard them. Yeah. Has not been my goal here. But I feel you on that. I feel you with the support part of it. I definitely think that's a big part of it. I also actually completely sympathize with Pogo in the idea of like about fleshing out these champions. I have I saved, I think, close to 50 shards for champion chase event, and obviously it didn't go the way I wanted to. But that also meant once it was over, I was like, there's no more 2Xs. I can just kind of pull shards now. This is great. And so I ended up getting a Mordecai the other day. I got myself a Claude Beast Feeder. I feel like I have a lot of elements to a complete team. But it's interesting how much, I don't think I ever realized how much I relied on legendaries, because they do so many things for you. But I don't have a cleanser on my team, right? Like a champion-wide cleanser. I don't have an increased defense on my team. I don't have a really good decreased attack champion, right? Like it's interesting, like the things you end up missing. I'm like, right now I'm going, well, I just got this guy, Coffin Smasher. He's cool. Maybe I should rank him up to 6-star to use him for clan boss. I'm like, why? Why would I do that? That seems like such a waste when there's so many other amazing options here. And this is where I keep getting myself stuck. And I think, Samael, maybe you're actually probably the best one to kind of give some advice on this. as far as like, I'm right now at the process where I have a ton of champions that are 5-star, but very few that are 6-star. And I keep thinking, look, I know I want to use these champions. It's worth getting them up there. But also I'm like, it's kind of a waste. I need to just get my 6-starred so I can start using them. How do you make that choice of, is it just discipline, or is there kind of a metric you use of like, hey, this is somebody that I need to take the 5-star now, even if it delays my 6-star approach a little bit, because they're going to be useful even as a 5-star champion?
Yep. So in the beginning, I was just 6-starring first my nukers, because they need to be 6-star with masteries to do their job properly. So I was leaving my debuffers for the last. So now I have both debuffers and nukers on my 6-star. Now I'm actually at this point who to 6-star decks, because I have War Maiden, I've got Melga, but she can stay on level 50 and do her job properly. I think I have Fenshi, because I really need to move in Fire Knight. So I believe I'm just basically looking where I want to progress, what champion I have that will allow me to do that, and I'm focusing on that champion. So
if I'm summarizing that right, you're basically saying get your first 5 done, and then focus on go by area essentially, and figure out where you need help and rank on that.
Yeah. So usually when I'm starting, because this is my, I don't know, 3rd or 4th free-to-play account. So basically, I'm focusing first on clan boss. I use the same champions in Dragon, so that's my main team, and then I'm just trying to look for area when I want to progress, and I'm focusing fully on that area and just developing champions for that particular area.
I dig it. How much does Faction Wars matter in that approach? Like, is that something you consider at all, or not whatsoever? Because I'm finding my Faction Wars, I've progressed way more than I did last free to play, and a big part of that is I have more champions. I'm just holding on to more, and I'm using them more often. So it's been fortuitous in that sense, but it's like it makes a big difference trying to get the fragments, being able to forge gear and stuff like that. It's made it more of a priority. How's that factoring in?
I'm always doing Faction Wars from the start. Like, those glyphs can be really helpful when building champions. They give you a lot of stats, and you get additional rewards, right? So whenever I have a champion that I can just do the first 2-3 levels, I'm just putting some just random gear just to be able to do it every day. So I'm not leaving that for later. Always, when I'm developing my champions, straight away I'm working on Faction Wars.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What about you, Pogo? What's your advice as far as like leveling up your champions, going 6-star, going 5-star, 50, taking them in the Faction Wars, that kind of stuff?
I do the same thing I've been telling everyone: always make a 6-star, then make another, then make another. No 5-stars. 5-stars are the death of an account. I feel that you should make more 6-stars and then go at the content and kick butt instead of fleshing out it's like you have the champ, but you really don't. Like certain champs, getting them to 5-star is not going to help, and then giving them another buddy at 5-star, I feel, is still not going to help. I feel make a 6-star, have the discipline, save the food, make a 6-star, then make another one.
Like, how do you really feel about it? Because
that's how I do it. I do it the way I feel.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right. Well, I've killed my account apparently. That's a good place to start this at. No, to be honest with you, I think you're probably right. Like, sometimes I make choices that I'm just like, I'm making gaming choices because it's fun, rather than this is the way I should be playing, right? The efficiency of it. And you're right. Like that I feel stuck right now. I'm like, I've got all these 5-stars, but really I need more 6-stars, and I feel behind as a result of that. And I think you're 100% right on that. I don't know who. And
I wasn't calling you out. I just saying from my discipline, I practice what I preach. I always say it. I had to stick to it this time.
That's good. That's great. I mean, yeah. could have shared this advice with me beforehand, but you know, that's fine. It's fine. Telling me now, I get it. A little bit later. Yeah, it's I feel like that's probably one of the hardest things for new players, right? Like this actually happens a lot of times when I go on accounts and people ask for help, is like you end up seeing it's all under-leveled champions, under-leveled accounts here and stuff like that. And the biggest problem is they have, 30 champions that are 5-star 50 and only like 7 or 8 that are 6-star, and you're like, well, I can't, the ones I need are over here. These are the ones that need to bump one of these guys up. So yeah, I feel that completely. Well, look, thank you guys for stopping in. I just wanted to do a kind of a quick, brief catch up. Mostly, I want to just give some love, give the flowers over to Samael, because I mean, like the dude whooped ass. He won Dragon. I mean, he beat all the other creators, all the other teams. He's literally #1 in Dragon right now. I mean, like that's pretty amazing, I think. So, just congratulations on that. Thank you, because you're lifting our team up. Got us on your back. Hopefully you carry us over the finish line. We'll try not to drag you down too much along the way, but we're feeling pretty good.
I'm not stopping here. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's go, baby. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, the competition is pretty wild. I know we were originally in last place, but that was just a misprint on the list. We were never in last place. We've always been high up in the competition. But high up, I mean like next to last, but we were never in last place, and I feel like we're going to maintain that kind of excellent result throughout this competition of not being last. So that's been our goal from the start. I think we're going to achieve it. And I think, should be a pretty good result by the end of things. But big thank you to Pogo Pink Tie for being here. Big thank you to Samael for taking the time to come here. I do have both of their information linked down below in the description of this video, as I do in every one of these free-to-play videos. It is kind of permanently ensconced there. So you guys are ever curious how the rest of the team is doing, please go check them out. These guys have all been, everybody's been super awesome, super relaxed about this, but committed and hardworking, and it's been really fun to kind of see everybody grow and do their thing. And it's been fun kind of figuring out, okay, who's going to do which dungeon, going to approach which area of the game. It's a bit of a challenge, but it's been very fun. So I think we're gonna have. I think it's gonna be good by the end of this. I think we're gonna be pretty competitive towards the end. So it'll be fun. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being on here, for talking with us. We'll try and do this again in a week or so, and maybe get, maybe there'll be some fancy news. I guess before we leave, is there any like specific account news that you guys want to share, or anything like? Like obviously you did the fusion pogo, that's amazing, right? But and Samael won the Dragon tournament. Those are kind of the two big news I'm aware of. But is there anything else going on? Did you pull a secret champion you haven't told us about, or anything like you want to, let us in on? Did you finish Nightmare campaign finally? Like, this is the time.
Well, I've pulled Void Lego, one shard, and I got Little Miss Annie. Well, she's gone now.
He did it. We've all talked about it. He did it.
Yeah, if it was Warlord or someone really good, I wouldn't be able to do it. But Little Miss Annie, yeah, she can go.
That's fair. Her and Stultus have their own special place in hell right now. I mean, or heaven, or somewhere. Yeah, and they're chilling on a beach in Morocco. Wow, that's something. Anything you got? Anything, Pogo?
Nothing, man. All the cards are on the table. Come by and check it out.
Awesome. All right, well, there you go, guys. That's our video for today. Thank you again to Samael. Thank you to Pogo for coming on and hanging out with us. And until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.